Something extremely nice with VS Code is that now, this is quite recent actually, when there is an issue, when there is a problem, it will automatically fetch links from the internet. So it will look at similar issues, recent ones, and it will suggest you. In previous videos, I've been speaking about MCP and how VS Code is also integrating MCP quite well actually with Copilot. And today, so I wanted to take the opportunity to speak to you about something slightly more obvious, where it can fetch links and it will ask you if you are okay with that, because normally the links are trusted, but we never know. Maybe something in there on this tutorial is a virus, like they will show a snippet that will not be good for your application. And you can review the links by clicking to them. You see Stack Overflow, okay, all good. This one, I think I know that blog, but you should always you should always click there to be sure if you don't really know the source or you want to see the article. And then you also have the option to always in session to execute this, or to always in the workspace. So like the workspace is not just this session, is when you, for instance, when you add a project in the workspace, or just always to allow this. So we do continue to fetch the untrusted web page. I mean, the two web pages there. In my case, I'm fine with that. But it's always a good idea to click to them because, again, they are not trusted. I mean, Stack Overflow, we know them. We know Stack Overflow, but the answer given, anyone can give any answers there. So the given answers on Stack Overflow is not necessarily trusted. And yes, and that one was actually from Apple, so that's fine, from the documentation of Apple. So you see there, I don't have to insert manually a documentation. Like with Cursor, I have done also some videos about it. With Cursor, you have an easy way to add documentation, like Apple documentation and, similar like React Native documentation, React, TypeScript. VS Code, Copilot, they can do that too. You can also paste documentation, but here it will fetch by itself. So it's like even smarter. Automatically, you don't have to give the documentation. If something is missing, it will try by itself, but it can be quicker or more reliable if you give directly the source by, copy paste the content of the documentation. You can also do that. All right. So here we continue to run this command. Let's say Xcode, Apple command. And yeah, so it's nice to it's easy to not to be lazy and not to read what VS Code says, but it's always nice to look through there. You can also add I'm not sure if VS Code does that by default, but otherwise you can use the Apple settings, and the same with Windows. You can use the accessibility settings where it would speak what it's on the screen. So if you go to accessibility and, normally it's made for blind people, so the computer will speak automatically, but we can use that, so we can just listen what Copilot does. But I believe they would, if not already available, they would do such an option, similar to ChatGPT, where you speak and ChatGPT replies to you, but it's only, you speak like a person and it replies to you by speaking back. And yeah, something that is already in there, you can just speak also there from the mic, or you can also use, I have to install the application there. I will have to do that later, but you can also use the one from Apple. In my case, I have a shortcut, the speech, yeah. And so you would just speak. In my case, I have two languages, so I will just do English. Remove that. Okay. Please review what you have done. Let's see. And now we can submit. Perfect. Easy peasy. And actually we haven't done yet. It needs to execute one more command here. So we are nearly there. So the application we are building at the moment is detect sleep. And it's already available on the Apple Store if you wish. And so the error I was having, if I can show, that was because I didn't have enough space on my computer, but the error I was having specific to the Apple version, just make this window a little bit bigger, processing and the fetch background And when I was submitting the app to the Apple Store, it didn't work. It refused basically me to submit it. So yeah, you see, so basically when I was about to distribute the app, the build to the Apple Store, that was the two errors I got. So the UI background mode with the invalid value background fetch, and the other invalid value was background processing. All right, so hopefully this time it does work. We will review the changes, and yeah, fingers crossed it does work. Right, so yeah, what I really wanted to show you is like the ability for Copilot to fetch the link. And I believe we will see, or here we have another one. Yeah, I believe we'll see in another video where we will dig more into the development, vibe coding, everything related to AI coding and vibe coding. And I wish you a happy AI coding journey.